everyone, and welcome back to Frequency Writer, Color the Magic, and Whole Soul Mastery. I'm Marie Mohler, and I'm an author, intuitive, and an inspirer of these ascension times. And I'm bringing through some messages for you at the end of July 2024, as we're just about to turn the corner into August 2024 and enter into those frequencies of the Lion's Gate. We're probably in that window now or very soon. So I want to welcome you to these messages today. We're going to do a little bit of a different format. I'm going to be explaining that. So let's take a deeper dive into the big picture review and some other inspirations that I have lined up for you to empower you in your ascension journey. And so I'm releasing this video today, which is going to be in the format of what I formerly called the Marinades messages on the day that I typically release the frequency writings, right? Or the transmissions, as you may have known them. But I'm changing a lot of things up because I'm changing. And I imagine that you are also experiencing some changes, whether that's in your relationships, whether that's in your job, whether that's just in your belief systems or your values or your understandings of the way this world works. We're all going through an epic and pretty pervasive experience of global and cosmic and divine change. And as these changes have been rolling out for me, that means I'm also changing the format of the messages that I've been posting, at least here since 2016. So it's been a long time. Many of you who've followed these messages for a long time, listened to them as meditations and found inspiration in them. It's a powerful time to watch something that has been so beautiful in my experience for so long have these new iterations. And that's what I see happening is that Color the Magic is having a new iteration of itself, like a new birth, like a rebirthing process, right? And isn't that true of all of us that we're going through this rebirthing process on the planet? So I have some topics for today, and I'm basically combining the Marinades messages. We'll talk about this a little bit more today, and the frequency writings into one video message that I'm going to share with you this week and still post every couple of weeks. But I'm changing the focus of what those messages have been. And I'm going to still bring through some insights. I'm still going to comment on some of the energies I notice on the planet if that inspires and empowers you as well. I'm also going to bring through other forms of inspiration, and I'm going to increase the podcasts that I do as well on this channel and also for my nonprofit. So, the topic of my message today, of course, is July 2024, but I could have put July and August 2024 because we're moving into the new energies of August. And I want to talk about seeking and embodying truth, courage, and light, and remembering the gifts of the hero's journey and applying them to whole iceberg living. Since I streamed through that message a couple of weeks ago in the last Marinades message, right, about whole iceberg living, I didn't know how profound that was going to be in my own awareness and in my interactions with people. And as I move through my day and move through the changes, that consciousness, for those that didn't see the Marinades message from a couple of weeks ago, I was speaking about how many people live from like the tip of the iceberg and maybe just the very tip of the iceberg, right? And that's all they really know about themselves, or that's all they really seek to know about the world around them. At some level, we're accepting this very small pictured vision, right? And we live small and we live in that constricted, contracted state. But we all know that there's a deeper iceberg underneath the water, and those are our talents, those are our gifts. That's the allness of us, right? All of our lifetimes of experiences. There's much more to us than meets the eye. And that iceberg, the iceberg, the little eye, is just a fraction of who we really are. And I am sensing that we're being called to more holistic living. And that's where I was talking about that whole iceberg living, including this awareness that our shadow traits or the most vulnerable parts of ourselves, the fragile parts of ourselves, the hidden parts of ourselves that we haven't wanted to see. They're there in our iceberg, right? And the iceberg, in a way, is melting, right? Aspects of what was frozen in time and we've been carrying around with us all this time. are melting away. The layers are melting away, right? And there's this dissolving that's going on, the dissolving of the 3D matrix's story of us. So, I want to talk more about that whole iceberg living. I want to talk to you a little bit more about the hero's journey. I just want to give you some inspirations that may empower you in your journey. And of course, as I share this message today, I invite you to keep the best and leave the rest, right? And we're going to be talking today about how so much of our empowerment is coming from within now, right? We can read books or we can watch TV shows or we can enjoy watching some movies with meaningful messages or listen to podcasters, but ultimately the spiritual work in these times is up to us. And that's also a part of my transitioning out of channeling on in a more public way and sharing these messages and just bringing through messages now that can inspire you, that give you some things to think about to apply to your own journey, because we are the avatars of our own experiences. We are the ones who came to demonstrate our whole soul mastery. And that's a lot of what these times are inviting us to do, is to step up into that mastery. And I just want to give you some inspirations so that that may or can support you to embrace this consciousness of the whole iceberg of you, the allness of you coming into integration, coming into wholeness now. So, with that said, I want to talk briefly about a big picture of you. I'm going to keep that part of our conversations the same. And I'm going to just spotlight some of the energies that I'm sensing and feeling and see if it relates to your own journey, to see, am I noticing that in my life, in my daily experiences, in the world around me? Clearly, there's a theme of change. We are living in times of epic change, quantum change, and divine change, really, in my view. And increasingly so, many are feeling this call to change in perhaps what I've called ascension in the fast lane, right? It seems like there's this acceleration of shifts going on, whether that's politically, whether that's in your family system, whether that's in your personal life, whether that's in your relationship with yourself and your belief systems, as I've talked about. There's so much change probably happening on every level of our being. And I ask this question of you: how do we nurture ourselves through the shifts? How do we empower ourselves through the shifts? What if we need to do more looking and listening within to access our soul skills now for this next chapter in our personal transformations and our growth steps, right? What if the journey is really inviting us to go within? What if the world around us is going to swirl so much of that vibrational soup I've talked about over the years? What if so much of that energy in that ascension in the fast lane is swirling around? It could almost be dizzying, right? That we are called to look inside ourselves, that's where the groundedness is. That's where the light is shining. That's where the truth is for each one of us to get in touch with that. That's where source wants to connect with us, God, creator, whatever language you use. And speaking of change, as I've said already, I've received my own inner guidance to change the way I share the messages on Color the Magic on YouTube and other social media platforms, which you may find me through my name, Marie Mohler, Frequency Writer, Whole Soul Mastery, on other platforms. My time for sharing these, what we call channeled messages or transmissions or frequency writings, in the way I was sharing them has come to a close. I've really felt that happening for some time now. And it's become really clear the last few months. And just this last few weeks, I felt this call to do something very different. So, my time for sharing inspired messages as a whole soul and a whole being is emerging, right? I feel like I'm sharing these messages as a soul on the spiritual path of reunion with Source, right? Which a lot of us have been, who've been listening to these messages for many years now. I think we're all experiencing this call, right? This call to integrate, to come into wholeness, to trust ourselves, to be in stillness with Source, to go into nature, to listen here. We might listen to some podcasts and these other sources and resources, but it's really important that we're building this relationship with ourselves, right? We're listening to our own inner guidance system. We might hear lots of different perspectives and inspirations, but we want to be listening here in the heart with these ears, right? The heart's ears. And I'm here to share some insights and messages that I hope to empower you in your own ascension journeys. Today, you're going to see this new format for how I'm going to do that. It may keep evolving. And I will also be doing a few more podcasts every month. That's my intention, is to do more podcasts and have more conversations with some wonderful guests who will talk about the changes many are experiencing, their stories, how they're living their dreams and stepping into manifesting the new earth in their lives, bringing the future into their lives now, right? I want to have more guests speaking to the changes, speaking to the transformation, speaking to the inspiration they feel called to manifest through their gifts, through their union with Source, right? Because I aim to inspire you and ignite a greater zest and passion for your journey, for your projects, for your integration. And I liked this new segment, Can We Talk, because it's a way of spotlighting something that maybe more specifically that I'm experiencing with myself. And I'll put it out there and ask you, I wonder if you're experiencing something similar or something different. So we've talked about the whole iceberg living, right? That's what we talked about in the last video. I've gone into stillness in the last 2 weeks and spent time with God and my higher self, like reconnecting, like really nurturing that time in a way that I'm really giving it my full attention and presence, right? For me, that requires an attunement to inner listening. And I find it refreshing in the speed of our lives right now to make time for that connection. I'm making time. One of my good friends, Renee Tainter, if she's listening to this, right? She podcasted with a number of my friends in like 2020, 2021, maybe up to 2023. I can't remember. We were doing some of those roundtables together. And in one of those roundtables or one of those podcasts, she said, be the first to connect. She was talking about this connection with people, right? Connecting with people in the store. And she is that kind of bubbly, friendly, very lively and beautiful spirit with a heart of gold. I mean, truly a heart of gold. And I felt that within every fiber of my being, how she lives that, how she is the first to connect. She'll walk into a Whole Food store or wherever she goes shopping or whatever, and some people are in line just having a regular day. And there Renee shows up in their day. And and I know people can relate to this, whether you're one of these people or you know friends and family who are like this, and they just bop in and they're so full of sunshine. They're like, "Hey, cool sweater. Oh, I love your earrings," and just strike up a conversation and being the first to connect. There's something so beautiful about that. And that's that similar energy or the same kind of energy that we want to feel when we're thinking, I'm going to go and walk with God for a little bit. I'm going to go and take 5 minutes out of my day and I'm going to go breathe in union with God and commune with God's energy and God's vision for my life. And I'm going to be listening to those insights and inspirations that come in the whispers that happen when we get still enough to actually hear them. So, shout out to my friend Renee and shout out to anybody listening that knows people who are just those fun and bubbly people that make everybody feel good wherever they are. So, I'm talking about an attunement to inner listening and to finding that refreshing, just really appreciating the opportunity to connect and spending more time in the spirit of connection with myself, with my gifts, with my guidance system, with Source. I'm inviting you to connect with you as well. I have also spent some time attending to aspects of me that needed more compassion, that needed more just of my time, my awareness, my presence, and that needed more nurturing. That has felt important and definitely incredibly rewarding each time I've turned to that and I've given myself that gift. Are you experiencing aspects of you in your journeys to greater wholeness, integration, and empowerment that need your attention, your awareness, your compassion, your nurturing? A whole world that's been upside down is flipping right side up. God's hands are all over this planet, creating so many beautiful course corrections and reorientations and rebirths. It's amazing, right? And as all that is unfolding, we are also being tossed about a little bit. If you're not grounded, you might feel tossed about. If you are grounded, you can feel the winds picking up and that accelerating ascension, that feeling of ascension in the fast lane. And you can also let the winds blow through, and you're just like a really strong tree with your roots deep into the earth. And so now I want to say that our divine self and soul care seem to be calling to each of us as we learn to enter deeper into the hero's journey, which I have spoken about and educated people about in many podcasts for my nonprofit, especially, which is called Whole Soul School and Foundation. And I think we're called to attend to that self and soul care on a whole new level because everything that we're experiencing, we're feeling the moreness of our lives. We're feeling the moreness of everything, more consciousness, more awareness, more sensitivities, more awareness of things that we need support in, more things that need compassion, more things in others we might see that also need require some compassion on our part. So I've been talking about this hero's journey, and I want to bring the focus in our conversation today back to that for a little bit. So, today we're going to be talking about that hero's journey, an overview, really. And we can perhaps dig into those 12 stages of the hero's journey. We can dig a little bit deeper into that in some subsequent videos, right? But I really feel like there's this awareness of turning and going within. While the world around us is swirling and the pace is picking up, and the pace of the information and misinformation and swirls of all kinds of news and information is accelerating, we can be calm in the breath. We can be calm in our heart centers. We can connect with Source, our creator. We can connect with our higher selves. We can connect with our gifts and talents. We can appreciate ourselves more. We could stand to self appreciate a little bit more in a genuine heart centered way, in my opinion. So, with that said, I think it's important that we're feeling this call to turn within. We can listen to podcasters and messengers for inspirations and other ideas and perspectives, but it's very important to me that I am spending some time communing with me more. And I invite you to do the same, to make a little more space in your life where you're communing with you more, right? And connecting with source more, and connecting with your mission and purpose for this life more, because it's going to come from within. Now, this next slide, I just wanted to spotlight briefly. I thought maybe there's a really good acronym or something for the word change. I think I did a podcast on that long ago. I think I took the word change and generated some ideas. But here's some that I found on the internet just as I was doing searches about the word change. So the C in change can be for compassion. We've been talking about compassion. Embracing change with compassion allows us to understand and empathize with ourselves and others during transitions, right? We can have compassion for ourselves and others. That's a big part of the changes right now. The H can be for healing. Change often brings opportunities for healing old wounds and growing stronger. Well, isn't that what a lot of this ascension process, this personal evolution process, this expansion of the very nature of who we are that's happening? And as we rise into who we really are, there's also things that are coming up, these opportunities to heal the old wounds. That's what I've been talking about in more recent messages. And so it's very much a part of, in my opinion, this experience of change that we're all going through. The A in change can stand for awareness, being aware of the present moment and the lessons it brings to help us navigate change more mindfully. Awareness, right? Being aware of the present moment, because that's where our power point is. It's in the present moment that we have the power of the breath, that we have the power of the choices we're making. We have the power of what we put our attention on. We have the power to generate intentions. And through awareness, we have the option as creator beings to be directing our energy in the present moment through the power of the breath and partnership with Source, union with Source, to be manifesting the things in our lives that we truly want to be living. The N in change can be for nurture. Nurturing our spirit and our well being is essential during these times of change. We've been talking about that self and soul care, very much a part of that nurturing. The G in change is for growth. Change is a catalyst for personal and spiritual growth, pushing us beyond our comfort zones. How many of us are experiencing that? Are we dipping our toes into more and more things that stretch us beyond our comfort zones? Well, if the 3D matrix, this box we've been living in, was the comfort zone, and we need to leave that matrix and end the illusion, end the trance of the illusion, then we will likely be continuously pushed beyond our comfort zones so we expand and grow. And lastly, the letter E in the word change stands for empowerment. Embracing change empowers us to take control of our lives and create positive transformations. Everything about this change can be about moving forward in a positive new direction, in a positive new adventure with a lot of expanding soul skills and this expanding self awareness that can handle the moreness that wants to come in as you're activating more of your higher dimensional frequencies. The more you can access that, the more empowerment you may also be able to access, and the more transformation you will likely see in your life as we go through this time of great change. So I have some inspirational quotes of the day that I shared last time. These are some new ones. And I found it on a channel. I don't know if they're posting currently, but they are on Telegram. It's called Inspirational Quotes. But these quotes stood out to me because there's this focus of attuning within, like connecting with our center, connecting with our hearts, turning to the authentic parts of you. Also, having compassion and nurturing and healing the wounded parts of you, because all of these aspects of us are coming up because it's whole iceberg living, right? The first quote is, there is nothing outside of yourself that can ever enable you to get better, stronger, richer, quicker, or smarter. Everything is within, everything exists. Seek nothing outside of yourself. And I'm not quite sure how do you say this person's name, who is, I guess, the author or the speaker of that quote, but Miyamoto Musashi. I don't know who that person was, but I think that quote, that inspiration can resonate with a lot of us. There is nothing outside of ourselves that can ever enable us to get better, stronger, richer, quicker, or smarter. Everything is within. This is an inner journey right now. Sentience is an inner feeling system, right? We're moving into the wisdom inside us, right? So the second quote says, if an egg is broken by an outside force, life ends. If broken by an inside force, life begins. Great things always begin from the inside. It's coming from in here, right? In here is where life begins. And I remember Terry Cole Whitaker, I think, talked about that with eggs. If you try and help the eggs crack because you think that you're going to save the little chick inside from a deep struggle, right? It is that birthing process that gives new life to the baby chick. And I think that is definitely a big message for us. If broken by an inside force, if we're going through the squeeze of these ascension times, these times of change and transformation on the planet in every system imaginable, including our own, right? If we break out of the shell from an inside life force, from inside guidance, from breathing God within, life begins. Great things always begin from the inside. And lastly is the quote, when you do things from your soul, from the inside, you feel a river moving in you, a joy. That's Rumi. So beautiful. When you do things from your soul, from within, from that light of source inside you, you feel a river moving in you, a joy. I love that. Beautiful, beautiful quotes. I'm grateful for all three of those because I think they're very relevant for our time. Okay, so I have two more segments to share with you. I wanted to review the hero's journey because I haven't talked about it all that much on this particular channel on Color the Magic. I talked about it a lot more on Whole Soul School and Foundation. You can go to the archives and there's just a lot of videos, a lot of podcasts in there, especially fireside chats, where we took each stage of the journey and we illustrated it with our own experiences or examples or parables. We brought it to life for you. So if you have more interest or curiosity about the hero's journey, I believe it was, in fact, it's going to say here on the screenshot that I have, the hero's journey parable. I grabbed this off the internet. The hero's journey is a universal story structure that has been present in various cultures for centuries. It was popularized by Joseph Campbell in his book, The Hero with 1,000 Faces. The parable can be broken down into 3 stages, and this is significant, right? The 3 stages are initiation, the journey, and the return. And then within each of the 3 stages, there's several other stages. So in the initiation, this is kind of the overarching context for the hero's journey. In the initiation, the hero learns to navigate an unfamiliar world of adventure. The hero may be dissatisfied with the ordinary and express a desire for adventure. The herald brings a call to adventure, prompting the hero to leave the known world behind. That's significant in the hero's journey. We are leaving behind the familiar, we're leaving behind what is known. And then we move into the journey, the second part of this parable, right? The hero crosses the first threshold, making a conscious decision to embark on an adventure. The hero then faces tests, meets with allies and enemies, and undergoes some trials and ordeals. I mean, that's the rigor of the hero's journey. That's where the marrow of the most growth is happening because again, when you leave the familiar and you step into the unknown and you're navigating things that you may have never seen before, right? It's calling out your soul strengths. It's calling out almost your otherworldly gifts. It's calling out the bigger aspects of you that have been hidden in the smallness of you. The hero may receive magical tchotchkes or supernatural aid to aid in their journey. The hero approaches a deep cave or a point of no return, marking a turning point in their journey. There's a point where they've grown through so much, they've faced so much, they've been tested so much that they're at this point of the turning point where they can't go back. They don't even look back, right? They know that the only way to go is forward. And then the third phase of this hero's journey is the return. The hero refuses to return to the ordinary world, instead choosing to seize the boon or the reward, moving forward, right? The hero may face a final test or confrontation before returning home. Like they've been through trials and tribulations, but there's like this epic test that's like the deep culmination of the whole journey. The hero crosses the return threshold, bringing back the boon or the reward to their community, right? All that they've learned, they bring back and as an integrated soul in some way where they have become the hero of their own lives. They have achieved a level of wisdom or talent or growth that they bring back that enriches the community, right? The hero's journey is complete and they have been transformed by their experiences. I believe that we have been in a hero's journey for many years, for some of us, many lifetimes, for most of us, perhaps many lifetimes, only unknowingly. And I, again, am sharing this because this is something that I go back to. We see these stages and phases in our lives. It's universal, pretty much. And even though we've been living in a 3D matrix, at least in 3D matrix, we can see the hero who starts out in this very small, narrow world, the known world, going through these expansive shifts and changes and this metamorphosis, this transformation, and then culminating in the return where they've integrated and incorporated and assimilated, and now it's a part of them, all of the greatness that they were called to in the journey, right? That they've expanded and they have that wisdom, and whatever all that moreness is, they bring that back to their village or to others to share the gems of their journey, so to speak. So that's an overview of the hero's journey parable. And then this is what I believe Joseph Campbell outlined for many people and gave us more of a language. So the hero's journey that I understand that comes from him is these 12 steps, right? 12 steps of the hero's journey. The first step is the ordinary world. The hero begins in a mundane, everyday environment, unaware of the adventure to come, just living their life, head down, slogging along, doing 3D living, doing the everyday living that many people are just in those neural grooves and in those familiar pathways. And that is what life is, the ordinary world. Step number 2 is the call to adventure. An event or stimulus disrupts the hero's ordinary world, prompting them to embark on a journey, right? There's something that comes in and catalyzes their experience. Something comes in, an event or a stimulus, and it's disruptive. It like kind of shakes that character awake a little bit. It prompts them to embark on some kind of a journey, to kind of shake out of their slumber or sleepiness in the familiar patterns they've always been living again and again and again, the loop of life, right, in a 3D matrix. That call to adventure at least is a tap on the shoulder that says, what? Wait, I might need to do something. I might need to be doing something different. I feel this impulse, this call to adventure, that at least something dawns on them that I'm not going to play out tomorrow like I played out yesterday. Something new is happening. Then step number 3, refusal of the call. Initially, the hero may resist or deny that call to adventure, fearing the unknown or the risks involved. So they feel the call to adventure, and a certain number of adventurers who get the call refuse the call at first, right? They say, yeah, no, I'm not doing that. I've had some moments in my life, the bigger things that I was called to do, I often had a similar response of like, whoa, that is too big. That is too out of the box for me. I don't know much about what that is. And I wasn't afraid of change, but some of those things were so beyond my language, so beyond my understandings that I was just like, somebody else might go do that. I don't know if it's meant for me. And so that refusal of the call, if you're not turning into the call and you're stationary or you're turning away from it, that's part of the refusal of the call. And sometimes I've just been kind of stationary, listening and thinking, and that can be okay too. We can want to, feel, go within, go into that stillness and listen. Is this for me? Is this not for me? That can be an initial refusal of the call because the invitation has gone out. The call to adventure of like, get your backpack, grab your water bottle, and we're going. And if you stick around for a few more days to think it out, that can be a version of the refusal of the call, but it's also part of just considering the call, right? We're considering the call. Some people actually flat out refuse it and say, I'm just not doing that. And in my experience, the things that I've said that I'm not doing that truly were meant for my soul path, they've just found me another way. And when I recognize it in the second way, in the third way, in the fourth invitation, it doesn't take me that long now to recognize that call to adventure. I recognize it quite well at this point. Number 4, meeting the mentor. A wise and experienced guide helps the hero to understand the nature of the journey and prepares them for the challenges ahead. That mentor is guiding and helping to prepare that, untested hero, that being that's just left the ordinary world. Is that like the Hobbit and Bilbo Baggins who hasn't left the Shire basically, right? And he gets the call to adventure. And is it oh, I can't remember his name right now, but his mentor, right? So he gets nudged out on the journey and he gets mentored, right? And we all have that. Teachers and mentors show up in our life often precisely when we're at this stage of our own hero's journeys, right? So a wise and experienced guide helps you, the hero in the making, to understand the nature of the journey and to prepare you for the challenges that are coming ahead. Number 5, crossing the threshold. The hero commits to the journey, leaving the ordinary world behind and entering the special world of the adventure. That's powerful. That moment that the hero no longer is resisting, no longer is refusing, no longer it's just like barely dawning on them that they're on a new path, that the call of adventure has already summoned their attention and their participation. At this point, it's crossing the threshold. The hero commits to the journey and knows, I must do this. This is what I must do. I'm leaving the world I've known behind and I'm entering a special world of adventure that brings with it uncertainties and things that I'm not even quite sure what I will face. They commit to that process. Number 6, tests allies and enemies. The hero encounters various challenges, meets new friends and allies, and faces formidable enemies, right? That's a big stage because it was a big deal to commit to the journey, because otherwise it was very, very appealing to most human beings to just fall back into the familiar, just fall back asleep in what you were doing, and nobody will be any wiser for it, including you. No, when you've crossed the threshold and you've committed to the journey, you start to encounter tests, allies and enemies, right? The hero encounters various challenges, meets new friends and allies, and faces formidable enemies. Sometimes it can be very, very scary. There can be some very troubling or nefarious characters who you meet, right? Is anybody relating to any of this in your own personal life? Have you faced some tests, some allies and enemies when you were in a growth cycle? We're in one now. We're probably all facing some of this. Number 7, approach to the inmost cave. The hero approaches a critical moment of confrontation or revelation, often symbolized by an inmost cave or place of great danger, right? That's the time that we go the deepest inside ourselves, that it's going to test our resolve. It's going to test our resources. It's going to test our spiritual, mental, physical, emotional fitness and constitution. It's a powerful, powerful phase. This is the deep, deep work, like breaking open that hero so they can be much more than they thought they ever were. The ordeal, number 8, the hero faces a severe test or confrontation, often requiring great courage, wit, or sacrifice. So the approach to the inmost cave is this approach where they're getting ready to face the biggest thing they've ever had to face. It comes in the ordeal. They face a severe test or confrontation requiring the greatest of courage or sacrifice. Number 9, the reward and seizing the sword. After overcoming the ordeal, the hero achieves a triumph or gains a valuable insight, symbolized by seizing the sword. They've come through the approach to the inmost cave. They've faced the most epic battle or test or confrontation, right? Whatever that is. And they're on the other side of that. And after overcoming the ordeal, the hero achieves a triumph and gains a valuable insight. The insight can be that seizing of the sword, that some aha inside you releases and you know more of who you are, right? You know more of your path. You know more of your strength, your constitution, what you're made of, really what you're made of as a divine being. Number 10, the road back. The hero begins their journey back to the ordinary world, often with a newfound perspective or power, right? That road back. So they've gained the insight, they're integrating it inside themselves, and now they have the journey back. And on that journey, I think there's still a period of integration, often with this new perspective or power that's like really settling in inside themselves as themselves. They are expanding and knowing they are expanded. Number 11, the resurrection. The hero faces a final test or confrontation, emerging transformed and reborn. That is huge, right? There may be one more test or confrontation. It could even be reassimilating into your original village, into your family of origin, into your workplace, but at a whole new level of consciousness. Maybe it's in your career path, but you're going to do it totally differently. I've definitely seen that in many people and in myself before, right? Where we return to what we have always done, but we are a new person. We are approaching whatever our tasks or skill sets are. We're living it differently. It's like a whole other level of our skill sets, right? That can be a resurrection, but it can literally be another adversary, another test, another final battle. You know, you kind of see that in Star Wars. Just when you think they've made it through, then some other nasty character shows up and is trying to cause harm or doom for the world. Yeah, the resurrection. The hero faces a final test or confrontation, emerging transformed and reborn. 12, return with the elixir. The hero returns to the ordinary world, bringing with them the wisdom, power, and knowledge gained on their journey and sharing it with others. Yep, that's when as that integration takes place, you've been on the road back, you face the final confrontation in the tests, right? You have emerged, transformed, and reborn. Now you have the magic elixir that you bring back to that ordinary world to touch the lives of the people who live in that, right? You want to awaken them, you want to share with them. And it's not our job to awaken anybody or to, make somebody transform. No, we're just aware that change is here and that resurrected hero, that hero that's been reborn who returns with the elixir, just wants to share. And it could just be with their presence. It doesn't have to be there with their words or their occupation or their service or whatever. It's just in their essence. The elixir is inside them. And anything they choose to do with that, it's just a chosen expression, right? But the true elixir is inside. That's what we're all called to discover. That's why some of the changes here in Color the Magic. So now I'm going to see if this works, but I'm going to play 5 songs, very short songs, like 2 to 3 minutes, that I found a site. It's not for everybody, but for the people that this might resonate. There's a website called Suno, Suno, and you can make songs. You can write a description of a song that you want written, and AI will assist you in making that song. So I had some other songs prepared for you, but I realized only just before I got on camera that those were not going to be covered on uh, the licensing requirements on Suno. to be shared with you. So I can't share some of those original ones that I love so much, but I found a few new ones that are really powerful. And in the lyrics, because I've shared a lot of songs in these marinades messages anyway, in the lyrics, it's all about the hero's journey and rising together, right? And digging deep and moving into the new earth. So that's what these 5 songs are that I don't think exist anywhere else because I seem to have created them, or at least the components of them, through this website. And I thought they would be fun to share with you. So that's the next segment of our conversation, is just these 5 songs that are very, very short. And I have the lyrics on the screen for those watching the video.
Leave the ordinary behind. Step in, adventure you'll find. Courage to face every test. Dream big, give it your best. Rising above, see the view. Challenges come, push through. In the heart, feel the spark. Journey begins, make your mark. Hero on the path, shining bright. Show the world with your light. Dreams take flight. Reach so high, in the end, spread your wings and fly. Fly. Thriving in our community so strong. Lessons learned, we belong. Deep work, hearts aligned. Together we stand, crossing the line. Hero on the path, shining bright. Show the world with your light. Dreams take flight. Reach so high, in the end, spread your wings and fly. Hero stands tall, test to face. Every step, no time to waste. Hero's journey, heart and soul. Step by step, the story unfolds. Hero stands tall, test to face. Every step, no time to waste. Hero's journey, heart and soul. Step by step, the story unfolds.
How fun was that, right? Hero's Path. That song was just for this video and just to share with you. So I like that. In the end, spread your wings and fly, right? Courage stands tall, tests are faced, every step, no time to waste. Hero's journey, heart and soul, step by step, the story unfolds. The story of you is unfolding. You're the creator of that story, rising above, right? Rising above the challenges we see, grounding and moving forward in that hero's journey. So powerful. This second one is called Whispers of Destiny, and it's got some themes of rise to the sky. So let's have a listen to that.
Whispers of a brighter day, healing light to show the way. Embrace the song of the free. Fly with wings of destiny. Dream big with open eyes. Reach the stars in the skies. Feel the courage deep inside. Shine bright, don't you see? You and I, we will be free. With each step we climb so high, higher than the clear blue sky. Hold on to dreams. let your heart be your guide. In the dark there is light. Feel the courage deep inside. Shine bright, don't you see? You and I, we will be free. With each step we climb so high, higher than the clear blue sky. Hold on to dreams so tight, let your heart be your guide. In the dark there is light. Feel the courage deep inside. Shine bright, don't you see? You and I, we will be free. With each step we climb so high, higher than the clear blue sky. We will rise together, break the chains forever. Hearts as one will soar, never looking back no more. Rise to the sky, whispers of a brighter day. Healing light to show the way, never looking back no more. Shine bright, don't you see? You and I, we will be free. With each step we climb so high, higher than the clear blue sky. Higher than the clear blue sky. We will rise together, break the chains forever. Hearts as one will soar, never looking back no more.
Beautiful. Can you feel that? Whispers of destiny, never looking back no more. You cross the threshold, you keep moving forward. You leave the familiar world behind and you step into what's new, and you step into all that wants to expand in and through you in the journey. It's very, very powerful. Embrace the song of the free. I love that. Okay, next is New Earth Rising.
New light shines in the sky, hands lifted to the dawn. World waking up to the dream, coming alive in the song. Rising, shining, thriving, living in the new earth now. Talent, expression, global prosperity, strength abound. Voices echo in the air, community calls us near. Hearts united, strong and bold, together we conquer fear. Rising, shining, thriving, living in the new earth now. Talent, expression, global prosperity, strength abound. Voices echo in the air, community calls us near. Hearts united, strong and bold, together we conquer fear. Rising, shining, thriving, living in the new earth now. Talent, expression, global prosperity, strength abound.
I love that. New Earth Rising. Rising, shining, thriving, living in the new earth now. Talent, expression, global, prosperity, strength abound. Hearts united, strong, and bold. Together we conquer fear. Such a powerful message for these times. Okay, if you're still listening, there's two more songs. One is called Living Whole, and I have one more after that.
Living whole in the icy blue, feeling faith in all we do, holding tight to dreams so true, trusting souls to pull us through. Connection deep between our souls, embracing shadows as they roll. Resilience keeps our hearts so bold. Together we'll create the gold. Connection deep between our souls, embracing shadows as they roll. Resilience keeps our hearts so bold. Together we'll create the gold. Rising in the morning light, empowering the dark of night. Through the shadows we will fight, thriving in our new earth sight. Witness each and every tear, in the presence of our fear. Letting go to make it clear, living whole will persevere. Dreaming big, no more disguise, in our faith our spirits rise. New and here before our eyes, in its love our future lies. Rising in the morning light, empowering the dark of night. Through the shadows we will fight, thriving in our new earth sight.
Beautiful. Living whole. Just listen to these lyrics. They're speaking to like the new earth part of ourselves, this new energy that's emerging, this higher dimensional frequency living. And I hope you're enjoying some of these songs. I had the best time creating them. So here's the last one, Rise to the Sky.
Dream big with open eyes, reach the stars in the skies. Feel the courage in your heart, take this journey, make a start. Light the path that lies ahead, cast the shadows, put to bed. Wings of freedom lift you high, healing whispers in the sky. Rise to the sky, feel the power inside. Become the hero you are, shining bright like a star. Every step a dance of faith, every breath a new embrace. Hold the dreams within your hand, transform here and understand. Hope is growing deep and wide, feel the wholeness deep inside. Walk the path with head held high, free your spirit, let it fly. Whispers of a brighter day, healing light to show the dance of faith, every breath a new embrace. Hold the dreams within your head, transform here and under star. Every step a dance of faith, every breath a new embrace. Hold the dreams within your head, transform here and understand. Hope is growing deep and wide, feel the wholeness deep inside. Walk the path with head held high, free your spirit, let it fly. Oh, free your spirit, let it fly. Hope is growing deep and wide, feel the wholeness deep inside. Walk the path with head held high, free your spirit, let it fly.
Okay, so my last message is whole iceberg living. No more losing in the illusion that we talked about last time. It's time to win in the vibration of creation and God's true timeline. It's time to reclaim our talents, our gifts, our music, our strength, our fortitude and light, our joy, and our divine health and wealth. This is our hero's journey to live that whole iceberg, the allness of you wants to rise up, rise to the sky in new earth rising, right? On whispers or wings of destiny. All of these messages, the hero's path, all of this is for us now to rise up and step into who we really are. And I hope these seeds of inspiration will continue to bring you back to color the magic, to enter the muse with me, to talk about some of these topics and inspirations. And I will also have podcasts and guests who want to speak about these things. So look for more podcasts coming in the very near future. And with that, I invite you to visit me at frequencywriter.com to subscribe and join my channel there, to check out our Freeing an Incarcerated World film trailer. Very beautiful messages there. Of course, Color the Magic on YouTube. I invite you to subscribe there. You can find me at Marie Mohler, Frequency Writer, Whole Soul Mastery, and other social media platforms. I would invite you to come to Whole Soul School and Foundation. Please consider donating to this humanitarian project that's here to inspire the world. There are many fireside chat podcasts in the archives that I've said that delve deeper into the hero's journey. Every single aspect and more so of the hero's journey is covered on our website, Whole Soul School and Foundation, and also on YouTube. You can look up Whole Soul School and Foundation and join our YouTube channel there. And you can find more messages on Rumble and Twitter and Facebook and True Social and Spotify. If you would like to hear more about sound money and options for you to access this, send me an email at frequencywriter@gmail.com and let's connect. Thank you for joining me. Please subscribe, like, and share this video. And I thank you for visiting with me today to the end and going through this metamorphosis with me on Color the Magic. And I will see you again soon for more inspirational podcasts, messages, and musings. And remember that together we rise. Blessings, everyone.